I'm now in the book of Daniel, and it's another one of the books of the prophets. And in Daniel chapter 7, verse 15, it says, "As for me, Daniel, my spirit was distressed within me, and the visions in my mind kept alarming me." He was having visions in his bed while at night, while laying in his bed, and they were alarming him. Verse 28 says, "At this point, the revelation ended. As for me, Daniel, my thoughts were greatly alarming me, and my face grew pale, but I kept the matter to myself." Now, in chapter 8, Daniel had another vision, and when he had the vision, he sought to understand it, and God sent the angel Gabriel to give Daniel the explanation. And verses 17 and 18 of chapter 8 says, "So he, Gabriel, came near to where I was standing, and when he came, I was frightened and fell on my face. But he said to me, 'Son of man, understand that the vision pertains to the time of the end.' Now, while he, Gabriel, was talking with me, I sank into a deep sleep with my face to the ground. But he touched me and made me stand upright." Now we go down to verses 26 and 27. At the end of the chapter, it says, "The vision of the evenings and mornings, which has been told, is true. But keep the vision secret, for it pertains to many days in the future." This is Gabriel instructing Daniel. "Then I, Daniel, was exhausted and sick for days. Then I got up again and carried on the king's business. But I was astounded at the vision, and there was none to explain it." Finally, we're going to look at Daniel 10, verses 2 and 3, and then 7 through 19. Verses 2 and 3, "In those days I, Daniel, had been mourning for 3 entire weeks. I did not eat any tasty food, nor did meat or wine enter my mouth, nor did I use any ointment at all until the entire 3 weeks were completed." Now let's go down to verse 7. "Now I, Daniel, alone saw the vision, while the men who were with me did not see the vision. Nevertheless, a great dread fell on them, and they ran away to hide themselves. So I was left alone and saw this great vision, yet no strength was left in me. For my natural color turned a deathly pallor, and I retained no strength. But I heard the sound of his words, and as soon as I heard the sound of his words, I fell into a deep sleep on my face, with my face to the ground. Then behold, a hand touched me and set me trembling on my hands and knees. He said to me, 'O Daniel, man of high esteem, understand the words that I am about to tell you, and stand upright, for I have now been sent to you.' And when he had spoken this word to me, I stood up trembling. Then he said to me, 'Do not be afraid, Daniel, for from the first day that you set your heart on understanding this and on humbling yourself before your God, your words were heard, and I have come in response to your words. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia was withstanding me for 21 days. Then behold, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me, for I had been left there with the kings of Persia.'" So we see there was a spiritual battle going on. God sent a messenger, but the messenger was detained by spiritual forces. And so God sent Michael to help assist this messenger to get to Daniel. "Now I have come to give you an understanding of what will happen to your people in the latter days, for the vision pertains to the days yet future." When he had spoken to me according to these words, I turned my face toward the ground and became speechless. And behold, one who resembled a human being was touching my lips. Then I opened my mouth and spoke and said to him who was standing before me, O my Lord, as a result of the vision, anguish has come upon me, and I have retained no strength. For how can such a servant of my Lord talk with such as my Lord? As for me, there remains just now no strength in me, nor has any breath been left in me. Then this one with human appearance touched me again and strengthened me. He said, O man of high esteem, do not be afraid. Peace be with you. Take courage and be courageous. Now, as soon as he spoke to me, I received strength and said, May my Lord speak, for you have strengthened me. Daniel was a prophet, one given visions and understanding, and he did work in service to the king, so we know that he wasn't in poverty. Um, but he would choose times of fasting because he was in such distress over the things that he was shown. And he could not stand before the angelic beings. He could not even hardly stand and conduct himself with the words and the knowledge that and the visions that God had given him. He could barely function, it sounds like. It made him sick. It terrified him. It grieved him. It caused him mourning. Now, I've been through the books so far of Isaiah and Jeremiah and Ezekiel and different books of the prophets, Elijah, Elisha. I don't know if I've hit them yet. Anyways, my point being that I really still encourage and urge you to read the books of the prophets and examine their lives and understand what it is that a prophet goes through. Understand and come to understand what the words and the voice of God sounds like and the effect it has on his prophets, the life of a prophet, the lives that they live, and the effects that God's words and understanding has upon their lives. It's a special thing to be a prophet and to be given prophetic words. But just carry this with you as you are watching your social media and listening to this person and that person said, the Lord declares, or the Lord declares, or the Lord told me this, or the Lord told me that. Indeed, God does speak to us through his Holy Spirit. And oftentimes, we keep these matters to ourselves and work these things out with the Lord. Oftentimes, we will write them down. Now, whether they are to become public or not is up to God. That's God's business. But I think that the best thing for us to do is to keep in prayer, keep in the scriptures, and ask God for discernment and understanding to come from him alone, from his Holy Spirit, and not look too much to other people to tell us and to inform us. We do need to be teachable because God speaks to us through other people too, but we need his Holy Spirit in order to discern what is correct. And part of what helps us is to remain in the scriptures and to study and see these things for ourselves and to remain prayerful. I love you all. God bless and keep you. I'm praying for you.